Hi everyone and welcome to today's maths lesson. Today we're going to be revising skip counting in fives. Warm our brains up with some revision. So yesterday we were revising skip counting in twos. So as you can see here, I have got some skip counting patterns. You can see 12, 14, 16. What you need to do is fill in all of the missing numbers. So I'll do the first one with you. 12, 14, 16. I know that the next number is going to be 17, isn't it? Because one more than 16 is 17. No, well done. I made a mistake. What did I do wrong? I wasn't looking at the skip counting pattern. So let's have a look. I've got 12, then it goes to 14. So what have I done here? That's right, I've skipped over a number. I've got 14 and then it says 16. So what have I done here? I've skipped over another number. What are we counting in when we're skipping over one number? We're counting two at a time. That's right, we're counting in twos. So 12, 14, 16. I don't say 17, I say 18. So see if you can do the rest on your own. So pause the video and have a go at that. Once you're ready, press play and we'll go through it together. Let's go through the answers. So we've got 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. So if you got all of those numbers correct, give yourself a tick. Now down here, I gave you the numbers 40 and 42, but I had these numbers missing. So what you had to do first was work out, well, what are we counting in here? So if you've got 40 and then the next number's 42, what have you done? That's right, you've jumped over one number. And when we skip over one number, and we're counting in groups of two, what are we counting in? I kind of gave you the answer. Yeah, that's right, twos. So I know that if I'm at 40, the number that comes before 40 isn't 39 because we're not counting in ones, it's 38. And the number before 38 isn't 37 because we're counting in twos, it's 36. So these numbers are 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48 and 50. So give yourself a tick if you got all of those correct. And then we have 50. Oh, what's happening here? Are the numbers getting bigger or smaller? That's right, they're getting smaller. So we're counting backwards. Now, are we counting backwards by ones or twos? That's right, we're counting backwards by twos. So we have 50, 48, 46, 44, 42, 40, 38. And give yourself a tick if you got all of those correct. I want you to have a think for a moment. Why do we need to learn to count in fives? Why is that important? So you can pause the video if you want, have a think about that, and then we can discuss it together. So one of the reasons it's important to learn to count in fives is that it's much easier and quicker to be able to count objects in groups of 5. It's much faster than counting everything one at a time. Another reason is there's lots of objects and things in the world that come in fives. So for example, money. We've got 5p and we've got £5. There's 5 fingers on each hand. You've got 5 on dice, 5 on dominoes, and there's a 5 on the Numicon. So one reason is that it's important to be able to count in fives because it helps you to count quickly. And the other reason is that there's the number 5 is everywhere, so it's really important that you have good practice in counting in fives. All right, let's find out how many fingers there are all together. I'm going to show you. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do you think I'm doing a good job? No, well done. Is that a very quick and efficient way of counting? No, what could I count in? 5, that's right. So you can even hold up your 5 fingers. Each hand has got 5 fingers, so I know I can count in groups of 5. So 5 more is 10, 5 more is 15, 5 more is 20, 5 more is 25, and 5 more is 30. So altogether, how many fingers do I have? 30. And that was much faster than counting by ones, wasn't it? So now we have some bags, and in each bag there are some pairs. And I have 3 questions that I want you to think about. The first question is, how many bags are there? The second question is, how many pairs are in each bag? And the third question is, how many pairs are there all together? So you can pause the video here, write down how many bags there are, how many pairs are in each bag, and then skip count by 5s to find out how many all together. So there are how many pairs in each bag? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can see 5. Actually, did I need to count that? No, I could have sabotaged. I should have sabotaged. So there are 5 pairs in each bag. How many bags are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9 bags. And altogether, how many pairs are there? Should we count by ones or 5s? That's right, we count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. There are 45 pairs all together. Oops, 40. Oh, what's happening to my 4? Sorry. 45. Now this time, as we're counting the pairs in groups of 5, I'm going to shade it in on the 100 or the 50 square. So here, how many pairs are there? That's right, there's 5. And there's 5 more is 10. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and one more group of 5 is 35. Have a look at my shading on the number square. What do you notice? Can you see any patterns? Some children might say, well, there's 2 lines. There's a line here that are yellow, and then there's 4 spaces, 1, 2, 4 rows, and then there's another line that's yellow. Some other children might notice that there's each number either ends in a 5 or a 0, 5 or a 0, 5 or a 0. And noticing these patterns are really going to help you to remember how to count by 5s. Let's count the Numicon. 5, 10, 15, 20. I have got 20 Numicon all together. 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Have a look again for any patterns. Do you notice that all the numbers either end in a 0 or a 5? 0, 5, 0, 5. Now we know that there's 20 up here. We don't need to count them again. We can see that there's 4 groups of 5 and we just counted and we know that there's 20. So what we're going to do now is we need to add these other Numicon down the bottom. So we're going to count on, but we're not going to count on in ones, we're going to count on in 5s. Well done. So I have 20, then I need to add these 5 more. So I have 25. Then I add this 5. 30. Then I add this 5. 35. And then my last 5 is 40. Very good. That's excellent counting on. Now we have some pencils. So I have 3 questions for you again. How many pencils are in each pot? How many in here? How many in here? How many in here? How many are in each pot? How many pots are there? And then how many pencils are there all together? So first you can write down there are how many pots? Oh, sorry, how many pencils in a pot? Then how many pots are there? And then finally, count by 5s and find out how many altogether. Okay, let's do it together. There are how many pencils in each pot? Well done, 5. There's 5 pencils in each pot. There are how many pots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 7 pots. How many pencils are there altogether? Let's count. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So altogether there are 35 pencils. And it's much easier and quicker to count them in fives, isn't it? And you can show that on a number track as well. We've got 0, then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Okay, now there's a number track down the bottom, but you can see there's some missing numbers. So I'd like you to press pause and work out which numbers are missing. And you can use the number chart there to help you if you'd like. And once you're ready, press play and we can go through it together. So let's have a look. I've got 10 and then my next number is 15. So what am I counting in? Well done, I'm counting in fives. I can see that it ends in a 0 and then a 5. So 10, 15. Let's have a look at our number track. Our number chart, sorry, we've got 10, then 15, 5 more is 20. Well done. 20. So 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Well done. And then what comes after 30? 35. And what comes after 35? 40. 45, 50. Excellent. Well done. And on our class page, I'm going to put up some skip counting songs, so you can go and have a listen to those on YouTube and just keep practicing your skip counting. In year 1, you've done an excellent job with your skip counting in fives today. So keep up the great work and go and practice some skip counting as well. See if you can count forwards by fives and backwards by fives.